y'all. Welcome to the Spiritual Speakeasy, where the bar is always open and the spirits are always served. Tonight's special drink is, because I do free advertising for motherfuckers, it is Apothic Merlot. Yes, it's a red wine. Featuring that tonight because we're on our third glass, because it's my sister Angie Butts with Triple Flame Healing. She is my witchy sister, my coven sister, and you get to see a glimpse of my personal life besides my cats, dogs, and Chris tonight. Hi, Angie.
Hi, how are you, sister?
We are good. How are you?
Wonderful. Glad to be here.
We are glad to have you here too. I'm going to boot my volume up just a hair. So we have a lot to talk about tonight. This is I've been on a personal track on these podcasts, kind of doing some things without viewers to be able to bring insights into what I do. Holding space. What is shamanic work? What is this? What is this? What is that? And sovereignty is the topic we picked tonight, like stepping into your personal power and really giving how many fucks?
Zero.
Zero. A little
Zero.
louder. Put your mic up just a little bit. Turn your volume up.
Turn my volume up. Okay.
Giving zero fucks about what other people think. Like being true to yourself.
Yeah,
We've both had that journey.
we have. And it's taken, I don't know, I'm
Okay,
48
are
years
you
old.
muted? Did you mute
Did you
yourself?
mute me?
Turn your volume up.
Unmute me.
There you go. Okay.
Okay,
We
can you
got
hear me now?
I can hear you perfect.
Yay!
Perfect.
Okay. Okay,
Brandy,
sorry.
hey, Brandy says, hey, out for dinner, but going to try to tune in on the ride home. It's always going to be recorded, Brandy. Thank you so much for tuning in, and everybody else. Drop your comments, smash that like and subscribe button, and here we go with the deep conversation. Zero fucks.
Zero fucks. And it has taken me a long time to get here. And, just putting everybody else in front of us because, we're healers, we're compassionate, we want to help people. And it's taken me a while to learn that we can't pour from an empty cup. We truly can't. And we have to get to the point where we put ourselves first. And when we put ourselves first, then we're able to truly step into our authenticity and who we truly are to help other people.
What happens when
And
we don't put ourselves first?
we practically die.
Every
I have a feeling
fucking
that's where you're going
time.
with that.
Every fucking time something
Every
happens
time.
to us, doesn't it?
It does, yes. And it has been painfully, physically, mentally, emotionally, painfully obvious that I was, dying earlier this year, and I was so disconnected from my body, and I had no idea what was that's what was going on. As a matter of fact, grandmother spider intervened and made sure that she bit my ass so I could get the attention that I needed so I could still be here to to continue my journey with everyone. And it was very stepping into your own sovereignty. It doesn't mean that you're antisocial. It doesn't mean that you're going to be this cold-hearted bitch or anything like that. It's just that you have to put yourself first. Stepping into your own power, reclaiming your voice. Because, I mean, honestly, I don't want to fucking go to somebody that doesn't, believe in who they are. That's not somebody that I want to see. But,
Oh
I mean,
no.
that's just. So, I mean, I wouldn't want to come to you if you didn't truly believe in what you do. So, why would you expect anyone to come to you either? So yeah, it's been it's been a very interesting summer.
It has been, I think, for both of us. As my viewers know, and I talk about it all the time. My knee took me out for like 4 or 5 months, and you're aware of that
Hmm.
too. Like, and I did
Yes.
some really really dark work during that time. Really dark work. Like it was very uncomfortable, and
Hmm.
really had to choose between life and death. Like it was not a play. It was not just sitting in the darkness. It was really like, am I going to choose life or death in that moment? Like, what am I going to choose? Am I going to give up? Am I going to kill myself? What am I going to do? Got to shut
Been there.
do something. Woke up the next
Absolutely.
morning and it was like, okay, this is how it's going to be. This is what I need to be. and
Mm-hmm.
drifting back into my own self, bigger and badder than I was to begin with. And then you took a hit, literally,
Yeah.
like physically took a hit. And then what happened? Like you stepped into this whole the venom and the spider, and go back and do
Which
your
is
chat GPT grandmother spider. Like it goes way, way back, way back.
so, with grandmother spider, is a Native American lineage, and I have a Native American lineage there. And I actually had a reading right before I got sick in June, where one of the people I was talking to, grandmother spider came in. She had come in and she was giving me messages, but I didn't listen. And I ended up with, bilateral multifocal pneumonia and had to have a chest tube and surgery earlier this year. I was out of work for 2 months. And being the sole practitioner, I mean, I do have other practitioners that come in and, do see clients and stuff, but I'm the main practitioner at my studio. And, I figure I must be doing something right because the whole time that I was in the hospital and going through all of this, my business was divinely protected because I didn't go under. It just stayed there. It stayed there and just, the container was held and waited for me to come back. I did have some friends that, stepped up and saw some of my clients and, started seeing some of their own. But I really had to take this time, really had to take this time to really, really go within and because when you have a near death experience and
Mm.
you think you're doing something right, I mean, and not that I wasn't doing anything right, but I was just so disconnected from my body because I kept putting everybody else around me, in front of me, trying to take care of everybody else around me. And it was painfully obvious that that wasn't the right thing to do. I was being controlled by my own
Whew.
trauma bond of being abandoned, and not wanting people to leave you. And that's a perfectly, natural human response,
Sure
from
it is.
trauma bonds is you don't want people to leave you. But yeah, you can't fucking kill yourself, in the meantime, just to make sure that that doesn't happen. So, relationships were lost, relationships were, doors were closed and doors were opened over the last several months. But I have stepped into a sovereignty now where it's just that not that I didn't believe what I was doing before, but now this transformation that I've done, Jules, has just it's been profound. It's really brought all the pieces of me together, the light and the dark. And I
Yep.
realized that I enjoy and I feel more comfortable working with dark alchemy because I've lived in it for so long. I recognize it, I understand it, and I'm able to educate other people and hold that container for others while they're going through their own shit.
Did you have that problem that I had with like, so, obviously in this the spiritual community, metaphysical community, however you want to address what it is we do, spiritual or metaphysical, to me it's one and the
Sure.
same.
Pretty
Uh,
much, yeah.
like you worry about what people think of you, and you go to shows and you do these things, and people want us to vibe really high. And they want, there's a lot of love and light workers, and I'm not damning the love and light workers. It takes both
No,
sides.
no. Right.
But the tree is above the ground getting the sun
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
harvesting the sun and the rain. And then there's the shit that's below the ground, literally shit and darkness that's below the ground, that is
Hmm.
the feeding system for such a great root system so the tree stays upright.
Exactly. And it's the roots that have to be, in alignment with everything else in order for that tree to flourish and for us to be able to step into, our
Yeah.
sovereignty. So
We
it's
have to
it's
have both.
definitely we do. And working on ourselves, the foundation, that's root chakra work, that's shadow work, and really understanding that our shadow is not a bad thing. Our shadow
No.
is how we have survived, and learning to embrace our shadow and work with our shadow to where we're not always butting heads. It's a much more peaceful
Oh my
um
gosh.
transition, I guess you could say. It's just
Holy
like,
shit.
okay, it's just, it's more peaceful. It's like, if you're constantly fighting with your shadow, you're constantly fighting with yourself. And if you're fighting with yourself, then how the fuck can you help anybody else?
Well,
I
yeah,
mean,
and think of a
seriously.
mirror. You look at yourself in the mirror, and I like
Hmm.
to think of the mirror as my shadow self. Like it's the part of me sometimes that I want to be. It's the part I want to look like. It's the inner secrets. And those of us that scry understand what I'm saying. If you don't scry, you may not get that mirror image, the yin and the yang, the both sides. But
Hmm.
there's so many people that want to banish the shadow, and
Exactly.
I don't want to banish my fucking shadow. I want to walk with it. Like, because
Yes.
there's times with people I have to be that shadow, that persona, that badass bitch that's going to walk in with guns blazing, because when you take care of the dark stuff, you can't come in and say, could you please, like, excuse me for
Can
hold
you
that
just
thought for
excuse
just a
me?
minute.
Just stop what you're
Well, hold
doing,
that thought for
please.
just a second and let me
I'd
like
really
send some
appreciate it if
glitter
you
your
would
way.
just step aside and let me do my thing. Hell no, that they're gonna look at you and laugh and be like, "What, this bitch?" Seriously. It's like, no, no. We have to go in there with, our own conviction. We have to go in there with our own, like, our own power, and be like, okay, we're here to do work. We are here. We're reclaiming this. We're reclaiming this space. We're reclaiming this power. And it does sometimes, sometimes it is challenging and it's hard, and it is, difficult to step into this type of lifestyle. It's difficult to heal. Healing
And
is fucking,
self-regulate. And
it's
fucking
messy.
self-regulate while you're doing it.
Absolutely.
Because we
It
have those days where, you're sad, you're glad, you're mad, somebody cut you off in traffic, you didn't get enough, you need some sugar, you're fucking constipated, whatever it is, like you don't
exactly.
want to fucking work on people. You don't feel like dealing with that for that day. But you have to when you have to go in unmedicated and sound mind to be able to do it.
Hmm.
It's not like
Yes.
a rock star that, can smoke some H or do something and go out on stage and maybe fuck it up and maybe not and still do a good job. We don't
uh,
have that luxury. Perceived Paranormal. Hey, East Coast team. Yo, love you guys. Minnesota Association of Paranormal Study. Love you guys. Thank you so much, Vanna. This is such an important conversation. I love they address the importance of integration. Thank you. It's big with us. It's
It's
huge,
huge. It's huge.
you
And
know?
I'll be honest, whenever I started this work, oh gosh, what, almost a decade ago, when I started my own journey, I was all about love and light. I figured that's how you had to do these things. You had to, be in the light. And not that I don't love, because if I didn't love what I do and I didn't love people in general, I wouldn't be doing this. But it's, you can't heal with just light. You have to walk through your darkness, and walking through your darkness is reclaiming your power, and being able to be like, you know what, this is my life, this is my lifetime, nothing has power over me. I am going to reign, I'm going to step into my sovereignty, and I'm gonna fucking own this shit.
And be true to yourself. Because when you go into
Absolutely.
this kind of work and you're not true to yourself, the shit will call it out. And much
Oh
like,
yeah.
I'm not the one that makes a lot of religious references on my podcast because everybody knows how I feel about that shit. But
Right.
even your priests and your oh my god, I just drew a blank on the word. The Jewish temple leaders and the your pastors of your fundamental, the people who do the exorcisms or the demonic removals will tell you
Hmm.
several things. You have to keep your emotions check.
Yep.
You can't get pissed, because the minute you get pissed, you're feeding what you're trying to work against.
Uh-huh.
You have to know every shadow within yourself, because that darkness is going to call out every shadow you have, and it's going to make you feel weak. So you
Hmm.
have to be able to sit with that shit and go, it's really okay, because I've made peace with that and it's my friend. So there's nothing you can say that can be used against me.
Absolutely. And you have
So
to
that,
truly
that
believe
kid
that.
sitting on the demons, not sitting on the demons, sitting next to the demons, smoking a cigarette with a bottle of booze, going, how was your day today? That really is how it is for some of us.
Mhm.
You know, like I got to be friends with my shit, and sometimes it hits me smack in the face, but that's okay if it does.
Yeah.
It's not
Well,
unexpected.
no, and when it does, it's just drawing out something. It's like, okay, okay, that's something I might need to work on. Okay,
You're right about
you know,
that. I
I
usually
got
say,
you.
"Oh, damn, shit! I thought you were gone. Oh, you moved back in the neighborhood. Okay, we're gonna have to figure this
Like,
one
well,
out.
here we go again.
Let me
I mean,
borrow some eggs. Let me
I,
borrow some eggs.
right,
We're gonna bake some
right.
brownies."
I've done a ton of shadow work since I've been on my journey. And, things that I really thought that I had worked through and things that, excuse me, I really thought that, you know, I had addressed, that I had released that emotional attachment and, released that trauma bond. And in, this last year, I have learned that I hadn't. I thought that I did, but there was still some
Oh yeah.
underlying, shit there because there's always residual. And there's always going to be that energetic blueprint. We can release that emotional attachment, which helps us to release that trauma bond and be like, you know what? That shit happened. I'm going to feel my feels. I'm going to deal with it. I'm just not going to live there. Because if I live there, then I'm setting myself up for a miserable existence. I'm not going to do it. So I'm going
And
to
here's
feel
the
my
thing:
feels.
don't be a martyr with it. Too many
No, gosh,
people.
no.
Church teaches martyrdom. I'm going to piss some
Mm-hmm.
Catholics off now, but Catholicism teaches martyrdom and guilt. Fucking shit or get off the pot. Work,
Mm-hmm.
use your left hand, work what you need to work, clear up what you need to clear up, move on what you need to move on, and be done. Don't sit in
And
agony. It does no good for
no,
anybody.
no. And if somebody wants to bring up your old shit or whatever, you can recognize that. Be like, okay, but why are you really doing that?
Mhm.
Honestly, think about that.
And why,
And
here's the other thing. Why do people bring things to other people's attention? That's something I've
mm-hmm.
noticed in the last year. And Miss Katie Stafford and Miss Katie are the ones that own this podcast that sorry, the Spirit Supernatural Inc. LLC. And
Mm-hmm.
she's told me before, why did that person bring that to your attention? It's to start
Yeah.
drama. It's to
It's to
start
start
drama.
drama and it's their own shit.
It's because they want
I'm
to make
clearing
a
my throat
wave.
chakra here. Clearing my throat chakra. But
Yeah.
it's their own shit. It's their shit that they haven't dealt with. Why would you do that? Honestly.
Gossip is a
It's
good
like when
character, people. Like, we work with left and right hand. Angie and I both
Mhm.
will be the first to say we will work a bitch if we need to, and we do. And we
Oh
do
yeah.
what we need to do. And bitch is
Mhm.
a general term, not a sex related term. Male, female, don't matter,
Exactly.
corporation,
No.
entity, whatever. But why bring something up to start drama? Like that's gossip. And gossip is one of the deadly things. Like it gets you caught up. Why do
It
that?
totally does because you're expending that energy on that. And when somebody does bring that to your attention, of course you're going to go there. You're going to sink into that little, you know, timeline basically, and you're going to start to feel a certain way. But then it's up to you, in your sovereign self that be like, okay, I see what you're doing. I'm going to deflect that, and I'm going to
Mhm.
move over here. I'm going to redirect that because once once we've dealt with our own shit and our traumas and things that we've been through in our lifetime and we've truly dealt with it, we've truly felt the pain and we have felt the feels from that and we've allowed ourselves to be raw and vulnerable and all of that, all the layers of the onion are stripped down. We're down to our core. We truly have healed from that. And if somebody else wants to bring in, something where, we did something years ago or bullshit like that, honestly, what are they trying to do?
Mhm.
It's just, it's ridiculous. It's so immature. And it's like, you know what? Okay, I see you. I see you. And you
Yeah.
just, you remember that. You remember that and you move the way that you're going to
Vanna
move.
wants to know, what does shadow work entail? How does one begin to go about the whole integration process?
You want to take this one or you want me to take this one?
Go ahead and start.
Okay. Excuse me. So for me, we were both here listening. Awesome. So for me with shadow work, so with my clients, I usually, are seeing my clients for a little bit before I start shadow work. and just kind of getting a feel for where they're at, what it is that we need to work on, these different things. But shadow work is just going back in and facing those times in our lives where we did create that shadow self. And for us to, get through a traumatic experience, or, basically to survive. If you think of your shadow was created for survival, and not everybody likes their shadow, which we've already discussed, but our shadow is very, very important into the whole healing process. It's like little pieces of ourselves. We lose little pieces of ourselves during different traumatic experiences that we go through in our lifetime. And when we lose these small pieces of ourselves, they're stuck basically in that timeline. So in shadow work, what I do personally is I take my clients back into those timelines and we retrieve those pieces, like kind of like a soul retrieval, if you will. You can kind of combine soul retrieval and shadow work kind of in the same essence. Wouldn't you
Mhm.
agree, Jules? I
Yeah,
mean, just kind
absolutely.
of getting pieces of your, just, reintegrating those pieces of yourself. And then you get to the point where you feel whole again. These traumatic experiences that we go through in our lifetimes, they are always going to be there. They're always going to be there. It's happened to us. It's a mark on our soul, through many lifetimes. That's why we have many lifetimes. That's why
Sure.
we have, past lives and shit that we haven't dealt with in a past life that we bring into this lifetime, or into the next lifetime. But when we go in and we process these things that have happened and we work with our shadows, then we just step into an alignment. We step into a peace that, and a balance that is just, it's just very blissful, I guess you could say.
Well, I think too,
That's to me anyways.
yeah, when you realize that you really don't, and this sounds so crude, and it's not that you don't give a fuck, but you really don't give a fuck.
you
Like you
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 don't
care
you
you care that somebody has an opinion, but opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one.
true. I
You
mean,
you know, you think about the healing of a person, but at the same time, you realize that who I am is a reflection of me. It's not a reflection of you. It's not a
mhm.
reflection of anyone else. And you want to be you, and I want to be me. So why am I allowing and giving you grace to be you when I'm not allowing myself to be me? And
Exactly, which
when
is
you start
stepping into your
thinking,
sovereignty.
yeah, when you start thinking about it that way, like, what are my restrictions? Why do I feel so much like I have to be love and light? Because
Mhm.
people demand that. Well, who are these people? Are these people the people paying my bills? Are they the people that are taking care of my family? Are they my customers and clients? Hell no. My customers and clients come to me because I am dark and I can work with the darkness.
Mhm.
They don't come to me because I'm light and love. And same thing
Mm-mm.
with you. We're not going to coddle. We don't coddle anybody. We empower
Mhm.
because we are
And
empowered.
we are empowered, and once again, it took this year for me to really step into that and really own it, because I was always someone that, would put everybody else around me, in the forefront and be like, okay, well, I'm going to take care of this person. I'm going to take care of this person. I would shrink, for to make sure that, but that wasn't it wasn't helpful, for one thing,
Mhm.
and it really wasn't true to who I truly am and who I was becoming. So, all of this had to happen for me to really step into this. And now, since I've been back and seeing my clients since I've been back, my energy work is much more intense. My gifts are on a whole new level. I thought I was clairvoyant before, and being clairvoyant and clairaudient and just like, okay, all right, let's calm the things down. But yeah, it really, having that type of experience really just elevated everything, just, who it is that I'm meant to be.
Right. Oh, for sure, for sure. And going back to Vanna's question, let me click
Yes,
on this so
about
people,
shadow work. Yes.
yeah,
So
how do
how
you
to
integrate?
integrate
So,
it.
like one of the things that I did recently, coming out of my 4 to 5 months in what I consider to be like a hell, like it was a negative energy portal thing. Um, Angie hooked me, don't even laugh. Angie hooked me up with Chat GPT. And
Well,
Chat GPT is pretty badass. Like, you can find out a lot of stuff about yourself. Now, if you're paranoid about the internet, Chat GPT is not something to be on. But
yeah, don't go
one
there.
of the things I did was, I ask questions like, this is what I'm thinking, parallel what I'm thinking with what other people think. Because it uses all the sources, the dark net, the real net, everything. But also,
Mm-hmm.
like, why do I feel this way? Like, let's do some deep work about why I feel the way I feel. And it brought up a whole bunch of trauma, and it brought up a whole bunch of stuff. And it's like, why aren't you? It questioned me. Why aren't you stepping into what you want? Whoa, that's a big question. Why am I not stepping into?
Hold on a second.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I got more than one device going off at the same time.
Uh-oh.
Sorry. Give me
Uh-oh.
but go ahead. Okay.
Why am I not stepping into what I was? Why am I not stepping into what I used to be? Why am I not stepping into the things that I love? What's keeping
Mm-hmm.
me from doing that? Internet society norms. Hang on just a minute. I'm going to mute my mic because I do family shit while I'm podcasting. Love you. Sorry, I got grandkid people picking him up. Like,
Aw.
it's a podcast host thing. It's what it is. Why am
Mm-hmm.
I not stepping into it? I'm not stepping into it because what if people don't like it? What if people don't like it? Why
At,
does it matter? Why does
at,
it matter?
So here's the thing, if people don't like it, they're not gonna come to us. We're the
No.
people that are meant for us are gonna be the ones that come to us. And, and the others, they can do whatever type of energy work, whatever type of healing process that they want to do, because that's what it's all about, is that empowerment. You're free to make that choice.
What about
Whatever it is that
family?
you want to do.
Somebody's going to ask, what about family? What if your family doesn't necessarily support what you do? Because that's a big thing in our world too. We're lucky. Both of us have people who handle us. They help us the way we are. They understand.
So what I would say in that particular question, Jules, is that, are they helping or hindering? So, again, this is your journey. This is your personal journey. And you have to decide the people that you want to have in your circle. You have to decide the people that are going to help you, are going to support you. And the ones that aren't, it doesn't mean that you have to be, again, antisocial, or you have to ignore them or anything. You just have to recognize where they're at,
Hmm.
and, where they're at on your journey as well. And, just hold space for that, and just be like, okay, well, they're not there, you know? Being uneducated in this world is something that, we're stereotyped, we're cast down, we worship Satan, we eat babies, we sacrifice, I mean, it's just, you name it, we've been completely, like, it's just so whenever we can educate the community, and we can explain, okay, this is why we do what we're doing, but this is how we're doing what we're doing, because we have been exposed to this, we have had these experiences, we have been able to, have these experiences, and not conquer them, but integrate with them, learn how to work with them, learn how to work with these energies. Um, and then there's energies that you don't want to work with, so we
Sure.
take care of those energies, so
Learning
it's
to
just
hold the
like,
key. Learning to hold your
exactly.
own fucking key. Do I want to open this door today? Am I
Hmm.
okay opening? Am I physically and mentally okay to open this doorway today? Or is today not the day that I want to open this doorway? Because I
And
hold my own
again,
key. Shut the
absolutely.
fucking doorway. Open it
And again, it's
tomorrow, and
your
tomorrow.
choice.
Yeah,
It is your
tomorrow.
choice.
Maybe you don't feel
Mhm.
like it tomorrow. One of these days, you're going to probably have to open the doorway, but you pick when you're ready to open that doorway. You're in control. No one else is in control of your actions. In the biker world, we
Absolutely.
say, own your shit. own your shit. You fuck up, you
Mhm.
own your shit. Like, that's a
Yeah.
my bad. Motherfucker, I did that shit. My bad. You
Mhm.
know? You just take
Like, I
it.
take
It
responsibility for that, and you know what? Move
was a
on. We
bad
don't need
day.
to be
Bad fucking
we don't
mood,
need to be
Donna.
demeaned. We don't need to be, kicked
No,
while we're down. We don't need any of that shit. And we're the type of people too, you come at us and kick while we're down, we're going to get up fighting. I mean,
absolutely.
it's just
It's not
it,
always a passful, peaceful way.
mm-mm, mm-mm.
Buddha would say, don't own anything, let everything pass by, observe everything. But we are also human. And the humanity side of us will sometimes react, and we wear our heart on our sleeves and we go, that hurt,
Mhm.
motherfucker. I'm going to cut you off back.
Yep.
Do we really
Yep.
want
Be
to do
like,
that?
yeah.
Like, do we really want to think about it? Go to your guides. That's part of stepping up and owning too. That's part of sovereignty, is not just being a badass bitch, but I think it's also remembering that you have your own responsibilities for the things that you
Mhm.
say and do, and taking responsibility for those fucking things that we do.
Absolutely. And if somebody wants to make you a villain, let them.
Yep.
Fucking let them. Don't try to defend yourself. Don't you know your truth. You know
That's
your
that's
truth.
it. When you
And
step into it, you know
you
what you
know
are.
your truth
It
and you
doesn't
know what
bother
you
you.
are, you know who you are. Let people make you a villain. And I have become very comfortable with that. Before I'd be like, oh no, what did I do? I'm so sorry. What can I do to fix this and everything? Fuck that, because that damn near got me killed. So, and I didn't even recognize it. So
Yeah.
now it's just like, okay, all right, you want to make me a villain? You want to make me your villain? You'll get a villain. And it's all part of owning your truth, knowing who you are. When you know who you are, then nobody is going to fuck with you. I mean, nobody's going to fuck with your vibration. Nobody is going to
Yeah.
bring you up or bring you down. You're the only one that is responsible for your own self-regulation.
Well, and I think, when we say, like, there's two sides to every coin, and everybody has their own way of handling things. I think it's really, important to bring out, like, oh shit, I'm sorry, I'm trying to do two things at once, like, and it's not working. Hang on.
That's
There we
okay.
go. I'm trying to get one thing off and one thing on, and I'm not good at this shit. So here we go. I'm trying to flip some things here. Um, I think that, where was I going with this? I do think, I think
You
we
do
let,
think,
oh,
yes,
I
yes,
know,
you do
like,
think.
I think people, like, want to own our relationships and our feelings, and we let them make us angry. Like, people don't make us angry. We choose in that moment to
Mhm.
feel angry. I'm just gonna say, this is what I can do being on a podcast. Project Share in Missouri. If you're legitimate, I'm calling you out. Got a phone call the other day from somebody who was witnessing to me, lied about witnessing to me, and came on and told me that my spirit guides and I myself was a demon. That got under my skin for like 24 fucking hours. And I'm like, finally, I step back and I'm like, why do I even care about this asshole who gave me a fake name, and which his phone number is posted on my webpage in case anybody just happens to want to give him a call. Um, you know, why did that bother me so bad?
Mhm.
I am who
And
I am. You can call me anything you want to call me. It doesn't mean that's what I am. Why did I let that get under my skin? Because somebody else was judging me.
mhm.
Well, let him
And
cast the first stone. Is he perfect? Oh, far from it. So why did I let that? Had to take us do some shadow work, had to sit with myself again. So
mhm.
what about myself am I insecure about, or I would not have felt that way?
Mhm. And that's what we have to do whenever we notice that we do get triggered from something that someone else has said. It's like, okay, why is that bothering me? Because I know where I'm at. I know what I've done. I know who I am. I know what I'm doing in this lifetime. Why is that bothering me? And then
Mhm.
we do have to go in. I just had to go within a couple weeks ago. Just getting some news, and I mean it freaking destroyed me, and it destroyed me for a day, a whole day, like 24 hours. I was right there with you, sis.
But you
24
can't get
hours.
back. That we
I
let
came
some
back.
asshole destroy us because we couldn't let that shit go and flow. So
Mhm.
everybody has that issue. It's not just, people out there that aren't metaphysical workers. We all have that, but I think stepping into your sovereignty and stepping into your power, your role helps you
Mhm.
understand that okay, I give all my clients grace when they're having a day like that. Why can't I kick back and give myself grace and go, okay, well, that was awfully human.
Exactly.
Glad
It's
you were
like
able to feel that, but now let's pull ourselves off because we know that somebody was just speaking. And, this guy comes
mhm.
from a different perspective. He has a different God than I have, obviously, because his God is extremely judgmental and wants to persecute. And that's not who I go through. I don't go through
No.
to persecute and bash people and hurt people and do things like that. That's
For
not
beliefs that are different than yours. And that's
yes.
the biggest difference with us. The biggest difference with us. It's like you have your own beliefs. We're not going to judge you for your
Yeah,
beliefs. You
absolutely
know?
not. Who am
I mean,
I? Who I'm a mere
exactly.
mortal. I'm a vessel.
Exactly. Mhm.
So why am I going to judge you for doing what it is you're doing when you judge everyone else? That's you. You got to deal with that
That
shit. You got some shit.
mhm. Exactly. And it's just yeah. So lack of judgment is something that I do also believe that, and I don't mean lack of judgment in a bad way, but not judging people is also stepping into your sovereignty because you're practicing what you're preaching, so to speak. You are not falling into, the masses of judging others and, trying to force your beliefs onto someone else. I mean, I have, and I'm sure you do too. We see all sorts of faiths and
Oh my
religions.
gosh.
We see all sorts of different, varieties of energies and, things like that. And not one client is better or less than the other because of their
No.
beliefs. I hold space for everyone.
And observe. Like
hmm
sometimes, and I tell my clients this, sometimes we have to be that bird on the branch of a tree that sits and watches ourselves below do some fucked up shit and go, why did I just do that? Like third party, like, okay, was that the humanity in me or was that the inner child in me? Or why did I just react that way? Because that was pretty stupid. Like that was like, yes, Brandon. Brandon is my shaman. He's on tonight. And
Hi.
I'm like, I have read those books and I am learning and I am understanding that sometimes I'm just fucked up and and I don't even judge that anymore. Like today was a fucked up day. Not today. Today was
hmm
actually a good day, but some days are fucked up days. And you just got to sit with like, man, there's some motherfuckers out there that are fucked up and I am too. So I don't know where they're coming from. And sometimes I don't even know where I'm coming from. So let's take a break and watch.
Exactly. And not
And
judge.
don't judge. Don't judge
And not
myself and
judge.
don't judge them.
No, that's a big thing in judging ourselves too, because that's another thing that, stepping into your sovereignty, excuse me, you can't judge yourself. You have to give yourself grace. You have to give yourself grace for the mistakes that you made. You have to give yourself grace for, you know, just not wanting to do something that day. It is okay to have your me days because we need our me days. We need our days
Absolutely.
whenever we're just, because I mean, there's just when you go and go and go and go and go, it's like trying to pour from an empty cup, and you cannot be in your sovereign self whenever you're depleted. You just
And we
can't.
become a martyr. We become a fucking
Absolutely.
martyr. Like, yes, I signed up to do this, but I really didn't want to do it, but I'm doing it because I feel like I have to do it. And now, guess what? Now I'm going to play the victim and the martyr because, yeah, I did it, but
hmm
I didn't really want to because you took time away from me. But who's the one that handed it all over?
Exactly. hmm
You can't blame
Oh, yeah.
anybody else for that. You have to look at yourself and know yourself. So
hmm
sovereignness to you, stepping into your power. What did you give up? This is a trick question. What did you give up to step into your power?
Oh, what didn't I give up? I think would be the bigger question here. Stepping in, what I gave up is, you know, um, the people pleasing, and I don't mean that like in a bad way, that people pleasing is bad, because we have compassion. I was a career nurse before I started my practice. I took care of special needs kiddos. I did hospice and memory care, things like that. And having that compassion is different than having to shrink yourself in order to please others, if that
Walking
makes
on
sense.
eggshells. But
Yes, yes,
trauma,
walking on
walking on
eggshells,
eggshells,
which is
enabling.
a trauma bond in general,
And a lot of
and
nurses are trauma bond people. That's why we
oh,
become nurses, is
absolutely.
to help other people because we can't fucking help ourselves.
Well, my late sister was special needs. She passed away in 21, but so I was, pretty much always a caretaker since, she was 3 years younger than me. So I was always a caretaker, and it was something that, I was good at doing. I had experience from, a very young age, and it's just something that I decided to do. But in nursing, nursing is very structured and very, what are the words I want to use? Can be political in a lot of ways, and with nursing. And I wanted to continue to help people, but do it in a way that, I didn't have to answer to anybody, I mean, that I wanted to do my own thing, and I wanted to be able to offer the gifts and, the abilities that I finally stepped into myself almost a decade ago. So, you know, stepping into this sovereignty, I fully didn't do it until this year. It's been a whole transformation. It's been, a bit of a harder exterior. It's been, ending relationships that, I've been able to see what they were. Um, and, even though every people may have, good intentions in their heart, but they're not good intentions for my path.
Yes.
It's time for, they were in my life for a short period of time, and I'm grateful for that time that was spent with them, but they're not to continue. And I have to discern that. And stepping into my sovereignty has helped me be able to discern, what is for me and what isn't, and starting to close the door on certain relationships that I've had in my life that were more trauma bonded than, moving forward and, continuing my own healing journey, if that all makes sense.
Yeah, it does. And it makes me stop and think too, people and things come and go at the time and space that we need them. And then they leave,
Mhm.
come and go.
Mhm.
They come in. I call them earth angels. Like an earth angel will come through and they'll be there as your support system, or, maybe it's mutual, maybe it's one sided, but they'll be there to give you the message for as long as you need to hear that message. When you've obtained and it clicks and it resonates, or you decide it no longer resonates, it's done. Like
Mhm.
it moves on, that
Right.
person moves on. And I think really that's kind of what Buddha was teaching us, when it came to don't latch onto something so hard that you can't let it go, because everything is going to come and go. Everything lives and
Yep.
dies and comes back. We have a cycle.
Mhm.
And so willingly to say, this was our time and space together, and not throw the baby out with the bathwater and go, well, fuck you when it's time to leave. Like you left me, fuck you.
Right.
But to
Right.
go, what an experience that was, but I
Mhm.
release you. And
And I'm
sometimes we have to
grateful.
do harder releases than others, and sometimes we got to work a bitch to release them. However,
Yep.
that
Yep.
release looks like, letting it move on and then opening the door for the next phase to come in.
Absolutely, but we're also grateful for that time.
Yes,
We learn our lessons. We are grateful for that person being a part of our life. We are grateful for that space that we
absolutely.
shared and that time that we shared. And, hopefully, both of us walk away with, something, something of even greater value. But it doesn't mean that I hate anybody in my past or anything like that. It just means that, this next phase of my life doesn't include you.
Right.
And that's okay, because your next phase of your life doesn't include me. And I'm okay with that. And,
Yeah.
I'm not for everyone. You're not for everyone.
Oh God, no.
We're
And I
we're
wouldn't want to
very
be. I
No,
wouldn't want to be for
no.
everybody. I
Could you
wouldn't,
imagine? Could you
oh,
imagine?
shit.
Oh my gosh, we'd be some working ass bitches. Not as if we aren't already, but I mean, fuck, we'd be tired. We'd be
It's
some
like the
tired
lady that came
girls.
to my booth at one of the shows and she goes, "Oh, I can't get near your booth. You're way too dark." And the person who was renting the venue goes, "Oh, you have no clue. It's better you just stay
Yeah,
away.
just keep on
She's
walking.
gonna
Just
make you
keep
cry.
walking.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
she's gonna make you cry." And it's not that I'm dark with evil. I'm dark
No.
with truth. I will hit you with the truth that you do not want to hear if you're not ready. And
That is
truth is
exactly right.
darkness.
And
Truth is trauma. We don't want to face
mhm.
our biggest fears. And I will tell them to your face. Like, I'll ask permission first. Like, if you don't approach me, I'm not going to approach you. But if you come
Right,
up to
right.
me and say, "Can you do a reading?" I have a disclaimer. I need you to know, and you've heard me say this, I am the harshest reader that's
Excuse me.
out there. I am going to
Mhm.
speak of your trauma. I'm going to speak of your drama. And if you're not ready to receive that, I need you to move on because I'm not the person for you and I can't take your money.
Mhm. And I've
And
even
I
said
mean,
that to people too, because I don't feel comfortable, I don't feel comfortable taking your money if you are not comfortable with what I have to say or the
right.
work that I have to
If you're
do.
not ready to
That's
cry and be broken, but I'll pick you back
mhm.
up too. I promise you I will help you. This
Mhm.
conversation is so refreshing. Thank you both. Thank you, Vanna. Thank you for
I just love
receiving it
her.
and being here because you don't have to be here. It's all
Mm-mm.
a choice. For me, stepping in to my sovereignty was I had a Q. I'm gonna butcher this, and Bethany's gonna kill me for this. QHRT,
No,
QHHT,
QHHT.
T. I always
QHHT.
add extra letters.
Only
I'm not
4.
good at this shit.
No, you got
I had
it.
a session, and I've talked about it like ever since because it confirmed everything that I was,
Mhm.
and it taught me that it's okay to be. Like
Mhm.
it's okay to be that force. It's okay to be the storm. And I think I've talked about this on online on the podcast several times about so how does Julie get rid of some of her darkness because again being that people pleaser, like I live in the dark, I live with the dead, I spend a lot of time in darkness, I rejoice darkness, I like dark, I like dark rooms, I like going into blackness. That's why I'm a paranormal investigator. I am not
Mhm.
a jump scare person unless I go into something that's fake. You touch me, I never go to haunted houses that you pay for, like to be jump scared. I will
Ah.
fuck up a motherfucker so fast. Like I will
Yeah,
claw
I
your
can see
eyeballs out for real. I come from the
that.
world of mental health and prison. You touch
Oh,
me, you're
yeah.
not going to have a face left. It's one of
Yep.
those things.
Yep.
But spirits and underworld shit, I'm okay with. Like, I'm
Mhm.
okay with that. I'm begging for that when I go into the blackness. It's humans that I can't stand.
It's
So
like humans are much worse than spirits when it
they
comes to
are.
that.
They're much worse
Yeah.
than any demon I've ever faced, for real.
Mhm.
Walk in and I'm having a good time and I'm doing this. But why the darkness? How about some love and light? And I came back with the answer because you are the darkness. You are the force. You are the storm. You are the roots of the tree. You're not the sunshine. You come up for air, but you're not the sunshine. You're the roots.
Mhm.
In that moment, when I heard myself speak that, and I'm like, why am I speaking this? This is kind of stupid. Shut up. Like, just quit talking. And I think I said it 3 times, and she actually chuckled because she was
Mhm.
like, and then she goes, "I'm really sorry. I'm chuckling. I'm not laughing at you." but
Right, right.
you've made it very, very clear that you are the force and the storm, and you will bring it.
Mhm.
Okay, well, I think Julie needs to hear that. Like she needs to hear that she is both. And when I came out of that session, it was like it was okay. Like a
Yeah.
whole cloud, like the grip that had been on me for 63 years was gone. It was like, oh, wait a minute. Why am I trying to be something that I'm not comfortable being? And I've always been not, I knew I was dark. Not
Mhm.
evil. There's
And there's
misconceptions of the word dark
there's
and evil.
such misconceptions because
Huge.
people, I shouldn't say everybody, people do think that dark means evil, and that is not at
No, I'm the
all what that
root. I'm
means.
the dirt. Ash,
Mhm.
if you're biblical, ashes to ashes, dust to dust. I go
Mhm.
below. I'm okay going below. I'm okay hanging with below. I'm okay hanging with the dead. I'm okay hanging with
Mhm.
anything associated to the dead. I'm okay with that.
Mhm.
Step into that. So in my world, that opened up the whole smoke because I work with smoke. And I've always
Mhm.
worked with smoke. Like I don't smoke, but I work with smoke. Silk,
Mhm.
because of my
Yes.
brothel days and my Japan days. You know, I resonate with, everybody makes fun of me, anime, Japanese and Korean anime, because I was there and I
Yep.
watched the costuming and I watched the shit and I'm like, but that's wrong. Wait a minute. They turned the wrong way. They served the tea the wrong way. Their costume is wrong in this way. I lived in that
Mm.
period.
Mhm.
I was in feudal Japan. I danced with swords. I danced with knives. I always played characters like that. I couldn't understand the draw. So silk, smoke, and sin. I've been a brothel owner. I've worked in whorehouses like past lives. And I
Yep.
have that erotic sexuality. One of the guys at one of the investigations I went to a while back said, "You have that Las Vegas hooker vibe." And I'm like, "Oh my
Which
God,
I'm so in here for
63
that.
years and somebody finally got
You
it. Like
finally get me. You
you get
finally
me,
get
like
me. Uh-huh.
that's, and I'm not trying to put on that persona. That's who I feel like internally because it's been me for so
Yeah.
long. That gets who
And
I am. I'm tatted.
mhm.
I'm white in Jefferson City, Missouri with dreads, 15 years of dreads and tats. You don't see a lot of us walking around Jefferson City, Missouri like this. I think I was
No.
one of the first ones 20 years ago to have a lot of tats. The next stuff's probably in the last 2 years.
Mhm.
15 years I've looked like this. 20 years I've looked like this. I ride a
Yeah.
Harley. Like there's things I
Mhm.
do that people don't get. And
And they're
walk,
just uneducated.
yeah,
And
to
then
step into
they
that.
start casting stones. And it's
Yeah,
just like, okay, but if you would sit down with us for, well, an hour or 30 minutes or something, we can teach you so much
absolutely.
about yourself. And just holding space for you to really, really go within and rediscover who you truly are. And just, in a sense, wake up with the collective.
Absolutely. But
I mean, it
not the
just,
collective in terms of like, I have to specify because I have conspiracy theory people here. Not collective like the Borg, but
no,
collective
no.
like
Like the,
like a higher conscious knowing that what's going to happen. Like, okay,
mm-hmm.
so at the same time Angie's going through her trauma and she's like the spider, grandma spider, and she's trying to weave webs. I
More on
stepped
that
into the
later.
silk. I step into silk. Well, what do spiders poop out? Like, what do they
Uh-huh.
make? What's the web?
That's how we build, that's how we weave. That's how we weave our magic.
It's
That's how
silk.
we it is our collective. The web is our collective. And, it is that almost like that for lack of a better term, Christ consciousness.
Yeah, it is.
That love frequency. It's that God consciousness, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's the God. It's just that consciousness of
Yeah,
everybody being on that level and understanding when you're on that level, you can connect to your core. You can connect to who you truly are. You can connect to your higher self,
yeah,
and then, I mean, the opportunities are limitless,
absolutely.
of what you can do. And people like us that can hold the space for others to, to dive in
Or
and
not.
to,
Or
well,
not.
or
Like, I
not.
mean,
Yeah, or not.
you get together in ceremony and we fucking manifest. Like, it doesn't matter
Yep.
whether it's for the good of mankind. Yeah, I know, Brandon. I'm going to hear about this. Whether it's for the good of mankind or, you're eliminating something for the good of mankind. Taking part in that is very powerful, but what people don't realize is when you manifest, it opens up for us too. So when we're working
Hmm.
to rid something from a person or a universe, it takes it away from us too. And then you're like having that
Yeah.
holy shit moment, like, why did 5 things just come crashing out of my life that I wasn't ready
Uh-huh.
for? And it was like, oh, wait a minute. We did this ceremony thinking we were going to take this from other people, and we took it from
And
ourselves
we
too,
took it from ourselves because we
because
didn't
we
have
didn't
our
need it,
boundaries set.
because it wasn't something we were supposed to have in that
But
moment.
we but we also didn't set very healthy boundaries in that particular one. So everything hit us at one time. And but
When you
that's
say you
okay.
want something shiny and red, make
Yeah,
sure
you
you
get something.
specify what the fuck it is that you want that's shiny and
Yeah.
red. Like,
Yeah,
if
yeah.
you want a Corvette, you better say
But
Corvette with the year of such and such and so and so. Don't just say I want something shiny and red, because you're going to get something shiny and red, not necessarily
specificity, however you say
specificity.
specific, there you go, that word is so important when petitioning the universe and when,
Absolutely.
working with our spirits and our guides and things like that, because specifics, if you are not specific, because they understand frequency, and whenever you are specific, your frequency, everything is all in alignment whenever you know exactly what it is that you're asking for or that you're trying to work for, or, with in that sense. But whenever you're specific, everything's in alignment. So the universe hears you. Now, when you're not specific, the universe still hears you, but they get their own interpretation
Mm.
because not everything is the specifics were left out. So, but yeah, we dealt with it. We we dealt with our crazy week and everything, and it's all part of stepping into our sovereignty again and be like,
Holy shit. And
okay,
you're going to lose
well, shit.
clients, and you're going to lose friends, and you're going to lose family
Yep.
members along the way. And that's okay too, because if you do, they weren't meant to be in with you at that moment. You know,
Mm-mm.
it's just
No.
the alignment was not right, and their purpose was different than your purpose. Their path is different. It doesn't mean it's wrong. It doesn't mean it goes
Mm-hmm.
against you. You have to take a step back. My daughter has chosen to be estranged from me, and that doesn't mean that
Mm.
she's wrong. It means that her
No.
path is different than my path in this moment. And we
Yeah.
have to understand and accept that and not fight it, because we want to
Mm.
fight everything. And it's just a way of recognizing the time and the space isn't right.
Well, it's like I said last night, whenever we were doing our full moon howl, last night, we were casting out, what we no longer wanted. And, I'm not in my warrior fighting phase anymore. I'm done with all of that shit. I ain't fighting for shit anymore. I've stepped into my sovereignty. It's just we've all, like, we feel like we have to be in fight or flight. We truly don't. When you step into your sovereignty and you own who the hell you truly are, then there is no other type of peace than
Oh
just,
my gosh,
it is just so,
it's
and like I said,
beautiful.
it is blissful. It is truly blissful. And I know that's kind of like a yay fay word, but it's just yeah, I know, but it truly is. It's a state of bliss that you just, not everyone gets to experience.
No.
And we have had to deal with some shit. I mean, some shit. I have lost some very, very important people to me in my lifetime, just as Jules has, but I would not have it any other way than I have it right now. And right now is the truest I have ever been to myself, and it took a near death experience to get me there. So,
Well,
but
we realize what we have and what we're able to do. And I think, again, it comes with sovereignty. What are you willing to give up? What truth are you willing to speak?
mhm.
I am what I
And
am. My playlist,
mhm.
I now have a playlist, and Angie does too now.
I do
They're
too.
wonderful.
Yay.
Whether it's chat GPT, or, you're your own person that goes out and finds this shit on your own. My son's really good at finding music on his own. I'm not. I don't know what to
I'm
look up.
not
I don't know
either.
what to type in. Chat
That's why I
GPT
stole
now has,
Julie's.
yeah. So, well, but I mean, it creates a fucking playlist for everything in your life. And I'm
It
telling you what,
does.
it is so awesome to walk into a room and have a playlist. Like,
Yes,
going in your
Vienna.
head,
Mhm.
walk into a situation and have a
Mhm.
badass playlist, because music is vibration. And when you're
It
in tune
is.
with that vibration, it just
It's
It's
flow too.
changing.
It's flow.
Oh,
It's being
yeah.
able to move that energy, as we're pulling and transmuting energies. You've got that music going and it's just, it's flow. Nothing's becoming stagnant. It just
Right.
helps reinforce what it is that we're doing.
And why
And
fake it? People say fake it till
no,
you make it, but why fake? Put on
no.
a badass playlist and walk in, with your 6-inch heels. Like, do that shit.
Uh-huh.
Even if you're barefoot, in your mind, you're carrying this shit, and that's how you need to behave. And that's how it's all up here. It is literally mind over matter. So what you believe and what you feel on the inside is what you become. It's how other
Absolutely.
people see you.
I love it. It absolutely is. And yeah, it's been a wild ride for sure. And I'm not getting off anytime soon.
No,
So
no.
we're in this for the long haul. And Vanna, I agree. I feel like we have a lot in common too. I mean, a lot in common. And yeah, I'm just really, really excited to walk into the next phase of this journey.
It's exciting. So we're wrapping up. Like, I know I usually hang on for a couple of hours and we keep everybody going, and it kind of goes on and on and on, and we talk a whole lot. People can hit you up at Triple Flame,
Triple Flame Healing. Yes, tripleflamehealing.com.
Columbia,
We're
Missouri.
on Columbia, Missouri. Yes, we are in the middle of doing some restructuring. We've had some staff changes and stuff, but the website is up and going, and I am the sole practitioner. But I am back to work. I do massage. I'm a licensed massage therapist. I do energy massage. I do kind of like a shadow alchemy type massage, energy work, have a halotherapy sauna, my quantum resonance system, which is Soul 7. There's just a lot of really cool things that we have at the studio. But yeah, a full apothecary as well. We have memberships packages. Hi, Kenny, what's up? But
He always
love
has to come
that.
in and say hi.
I love it. Oh my gosh, he's getting so big. So big.
So we can book. Do you do online healing as well?
I have just started doing some remote stuff. I haven't really done it before. I really do like to have my clients right in front of me, but I have started doing a few remote sessions here and there. I probably will be adding more in the future. But for right now, if that's something that someone wants to do, then yeah, I can definitely work something out with them for that.
Tian Tarot is when?
Tea and Tarot is October 20. Oh gosh, is it the 25th and 26th? It's that Saturday and Sunday in October, before Samhain. I believe it's the third. Is it the
25th
third
and
Saturday?
26th. That is the
25th
fourth.
and
It is the
26th.
fourth.
Oh,
Fourth,
sorry, it's the fourth.
fourth weekend.
Fourth, fourth weekend. Oh, we have 5 weekends in October this next. Okay.
We have
So,
four. The 31st is on a Friday night.
okay. Okay. So, anyways, it's the fourth weekend, the 25th and
5th and
26th,
6th.
I believe. Yep. Okay. And we'll be having two private events after Tea and Tarot. So Clay, who is one of my readers there, he will be doing a Tree of Life experience, and then on Saturday night, and then on Sunday night, Jules is going to be doing her mediumship spirit gallery. So that'll be another private event. That'll be awesome. She's done it a couple of times before, and it's been great. We've had a great turnout, and everything has been
We've
really
done
good.
some weird shit.
We've done some weird shit. Yes, we have definitely done some weird shit.
Come
But
watch me channel some fucking stupid shit.
yeah, well, I'm running around making sure that, everything that crosses the veil is supposed to cross the veil. Throw it back across the veil, be like, no,
There's dogs playing with red balls. There's shit
there's all
going
sorts.
across
There's
the floor. There's
stray
me trying
cats
to be
walking
something,
through.
blowing candles out. You never know what you're
Oh
going to
yeah.
get.
Oh yeah, Jules decided to channel, and yeah, it was quite fun with that little seance that we did, or whatever you want to call that. But
Yeah,
yeah, she
yeah.
couldn't blow
That's
out
usually
my
what it turns
candle.
into with me as a seance, because it's just more fun
Exactly.
that way.
It is more fun that way.
So get
So
your
yeah, but
tickets and come see us.
Tian Tarot has been really great. This will be the 13th Tian Tarot that Triple Flame Healing has done. And then we also have ECA, our Empowered Cauldron Academy, which is basically a self-empower academy with a foundation in witchcraft. and learning just the foundations. And it's been really cool. We come back in session on September 21st. So we will have a class then, but that information is on the website as well.
Very cool. In the meantime, I am booking online bone readings for Halloween, Samhain. I am doing voodoo doll parties, and I can also do them online with when people have. This is what we did last night under the moon. I think it blocked out everybody's faces. Everybody created their own little voodoo. Well, they weren't little; they were pretty good size voodoo dolls that we breathed breath into under the beautiful moon. It
Oh,
was a very
nice.
healing experience. It is not. We don't work with anything that you don't want to work with because you're empowered by making your own doll. It is you. So there is no judgment when we do these things. I can do them individually and otherwise. Teach you how to make them, breathe life into them, and you work them for healing, self journeys, other people, sickness, fucking getting even, whatever you want to do.
And Jules and I actually work together in doing different types of psychic cleansings, different type of just whatever it is that we need to do. But we have several clients that we do sessions together, and are pretty damn powerful. So we have
They're
had some
weird
really,
sessions. If you're ready for weirdness, book us because
yeah,
it's
yeah.
very strange.
You're gonna have a good time, that's for sure. It's gonna be a good time, and we're gonna get rid of some shit. That's
Yeah.
for sure.
I actually had somebody the other day text me, and I have to admit, say, here's Jules in her feels, and then I had to laugh about it. Tell me that they had hired someone to that would work on the other side.
Oh my gosh, I know,
For
right? Because
2,000 plus dollars, though they found somebody willing to work on the other side, and I'm like, oh,
yeah,
clearly did
it's
not
like,
understand anything that I do because
no,
I spend
you
probably
are the other side.
85%. I am the other side.
You are the other side. So that's, again, that is someone that is just uneducated. They're stuck in their own belief and, really truly weren't listening to who you
Any
are and what you
message,
do.
any
No.
message.
No. So, in that case, go pay $2,500 and spend the next 3 months having someone exorcise the demons from you, and,
Online, online.
online at that. So, I mean, just, yeah. But, again, no judgment. It's
Nope,
just
nope. You spend your money your way, girl. You have fun.
exactly,
Enjoy yourself.
exactly. And you know what? Then that just leaves another place open for someone else to come in for Jules. It's
Absolutely,
just
because
it
I'm
leaves
very
the door open.
selective. I'm very
Mhm.
selective, and I only do one client a day
Hmm.
because of the type of work I do. Unlike Angie, who takes on like a whole lot because she does massage therapy too, which is also healing and energy work. People don't get that. Massage
Mm,
is very
It
healing and energy work
it
based.
truly is, and I have learned how to integrate, the energy work and massage and talk to the muscles and talk to the body and, be able to release that tension in your muscles that has that energetic blueprint as well. I mean, I've had clients that have had huge like emotional releases on my table, just from massage and intention. I really enjoy the massage part of what I do just because it really allows me to integrate, the whole mind, body, and spirit in what I do.
As I
So
do
it
too,
is,
but from the client
yes,
perspective.
from the
Yeah,
client
oh,
perspective.
totally the
Absolutely.
client there.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
no,
But,
no
but
endurance.
yes, thank you for that, Vanna. Yes, Vanna confirmed October 25th and 26th for Tea and Tarot. So yes, thank you.
Thank you guys so much for being on tonight. If there's any last questions, I'll call it down to like a minute. Get your questions up there. I monitor questions for 24 hours afterwards, and then I'm no longer responsible for the comments that are up there because, quite frankly, I just don't follow them because I got other things going on. Monday
We
starts
got
my
other thing. Got
client.
it. Yep.
It's
You
just what
move
it is.
on.
Unless you DM me, and you're welcome to DM me too. I'm Julie Couch on Facebook. I got the dreads. It's JULI without the E. Shout out to PTF, Paranormal Task Force, which is Katie Stafford's paranormal team. Whole group of us that are out there trying to bring science and investigative techniques to find out what's on the other side. Let me see. The Spiritual Speakeasy, my podcast. Supernatural Inc. is Katie Stafford's network, Katie and KT, his wife. And then Raven's Eye Paranormal. Chris and I will be in Potosi on, I think it's the 27th. It's Saturday night. We will be in Blondes and Booze. That's BOOS, although there will be BOOZE.
BOOZE.
On the 19th, 20th, and 21st, we will be doing investigations with teams there in Richmond, Missouri. We were going to do Sleeper Mortuary on the 12th, but I have no dog sitter. So, you know, when you have 2 100-pound dogs and 2 cats that shit as bad as the 100-pound dogs, you have to have sitters. So we don't leave. So we will not be doing Shout Out to Sleeper. Would love to have your tickets. Can't do it right now. Got to have dog sitters. But Blondes and Booze the next weekend, and then Paranormal Task Force down in Potosi. We still have, I think, like 8 tickets left for that. Going to be doing readings all afternoon in a gazebo on haunted land. There are some really good haunt spots there. Like, it is really good. They've got good evidence, solid stuff. You need to come out and get those tickets to come see us, and then come see me and my sister. That was not practical grammar, but you know, my sister and come see me, my sister and me for Tea and Tarot on the 25th and 26th in Columbia, Missouri. Even though you guys are East Coast, you can still come and see us. We'll put you up, whatever.
Yes, we can do whatever.
We'll figure it out. Loved you guys. Thank you, Angie, for being on. We're going to continue this because we got lots more to talk about. Like, we're going to make this regular. Probably should do this like once a month. This is her first podcast, by the way. First, we took a shower for the podcast. Like, people give a fuck what you smell like on a podcast, but she smells good tonight.
Oh my goodness, I have deodorant on, but that's about as far as I got. And so this is my first podcast. It's my first live thing ever. I had a little bit of a stepping into my sovereignty has helped me realize that I'm going to have to start doing things like this more often. So and just, you know, get rid of that fear that, you know, you have to be perfect. You have to look perfect. You have to sound perfect and all of
makeup,
that.
I did makeup because I knew you were going to do makeup. Usually I
just did eyelashes.
Like, I don't even wear pants to my podcast. It's like,
you know, when you said I don't even have pants on, I'm just like, okay. All right. I threw on just a little dress.
To the door. You're okay.
I just threw on a little dress. I threw on my lashes and I ran a flat iron through my hair. And and you got me. So I'm not in my normal, like, you know, with my jewels on my face and all of that. So I'm just kind of, but I did have to put on my spider. I know, right? I know. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
That's stepping into your sovereignty. It's my fucking podcast. If I don't want to wear makeup, I don't wear makeup. If I don't want to wear pants, I don't wear pants. Nobody can make me. See?
That is true. That is true. And obviously I've got my little setup here. So this is going to be good.
This is not her studio, by the way. This is her fucking house.
Yes, this is my house. So, this is a room in my house. And this
is my podcast room that I have to block my pictures from on about knocked my wine glass over. Maybe that's like one glass too many. I have got a lot of clutter, but I've got a lot of dark art. I would give a shout out. I'll give a shout out to the artist next week. I need to.
Oh, nice.
Artist. But it is one singular artist that I have all over my room. Met her at a con, like a Paracon.
Oh, cool.
So cool things. Oh, and we have tickets to go to Anime Con in November in Kansas City. I am not presenting as of yet.
Okay.
But
okay.
You know, fingers crossed. Oh, and I also have Rock Island Paracon in October. Oh my gosh, I almost forgot them. Rock Island Paracon, gonna have investigations. It's gonna be one of the biggest cons around. It's gonna be 3 days. It's gonna be awesome. We have investigations. We have speaker panels. We have the Warrens Museum coming with Annabelle. Yes, Annabelle.
Oh.
And we're super, super excited, whether you believe or not. I'm not getting into that shit. I have a good time there. The Shadow Doll is there. She's mine. Love the Shadow Doll. Shout out, and I am a speaker on anime and demonology for that event as well. So shout out to all the other hosts and the people involved in it and the vendors that are doing that as well. Brandy and Bella are going to be there with Bella Luna's apothecary. So shout out to those people as well.
That is awesome. That sounds like a lot of fun. I feel like we should do some sort of con here, like
a lot of
around
community.
here.
We don't have one here in Columbia, Missouri. Jeff said it.
I know. Well, I have Transcendence, which Transcendence will be back next year. We had to take a break this year because of my near death experience and all of that, and there's just no way I could get it together.
She almost died, like really.
I know, right? So there's no way I could get that together, but I think we're going to try. Now, nobody hold me to this, but we're going to try to do a spring Transcendence next year instead of waiting until the fall. So maybe we can, I don't know, merge a Transcendence with some sort of like, I don't know, some sort of con. We'll figure that out.
We'll bring the paranormal to the metaphysical and bring some badass shit in.
I think that'll be awesome. Yeah. I think it'll be really cool to combine all of it because it's all it works so like hand in hand.
It's all one.
It really does. It really does.
And paranormal is the science behind the metaphysical. So
behind the metaphysical, exactly.
I love it. I love it. We'll bring KD in, the mad scientist. He makes the equipment for a lot of the stars. It's amazing equipment. You've got to come to the investigations and see what we all do for real. For real.
For real.
For real.
Absolutely. FR.
Love you guys. Thank you so much. Next week.
Thank you.
Next week, I have a very special guest. It is a musician. You'll have to get on the pod page to see who it is. He does dark spell music, weaves it into his music. He's super cool. I'm really excited and so fucking blessed that he said that he would be on my podcast. So
yeah, because we just did his music. We just used his
music
for our extraction.
So cool. Looking forward to that. And we're going to hear about the metaphysical work and how he sees the music and the symphonics and the harmony to blend with the spells. So, because that's what the Spiritual Speakeasy does. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. Love to you all. Please be safe out there. Have a great week. Enjoy yourself, enjoy life, and take time for yourself. Be true to yourself. Fuck everybody else. That doesn't mean you don't take care of them, but be true to yourself first. Love to you all. Thank you so much, Angie. Stay on. I'm going to end this. Love you guys. See you next Sunday.
Love you.